Welcome to Talk of the Town. This is an official podcast from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside to expand upon community topics shared through the Talk of the Town newsletter. Here we will give you more detail, respond to questions, and deliver information about community news and happenings. Hey everybody, it's Rob Hefner here, hanging out in the studio at the Town Hall of Pinetop-Lakeside, and we're going to have a topic today with the police department. I've got with us from Police Services Officer Haas, and I've got Detective Bunch. How are you two?
Doing good, thank you.
Fabulous as always.
Cool. So our topic today is, I'll let you introduce it, Officer Haas.
Yes. So I wanted to talk to everybody today about fraud, and I enlisted the help of Detective Bunch as he does a lot of the investigations on this and prosecutions. So
now, a lot of things happen over the years, and they're the same sort of scenario. It's somebody that's that acts as if there's something that needs help or someone who needs help. They reach out to someone who is either express themselves as giving or helpful and are honestly good people, and then they take advantage of that, don't they?
They do, yes. It's unfortunately, it's becoming more of a problem. We've been seeing a real uptick in scams and frauds and things like that.
They used to do it door to door, but now it's a lot easier just to do it either by calling or via social media, right? It
is. The most common way that we're seeing right now is through telephones, getting a lot of robocalls. It's really easy to purchase a fake number, maybe something that's local to the person they're trying to scam. That way they're a little more trusting of that number that's calling them. And then they just kind of rope them in that way.
So I'm a little older than both of you. It's very hard for me. I had to actually, and I think it was about maybe 2 years ago, where I can finally just hang up the phone on somebody. Literally mid-sentence as they're starting to talk, I just hang up. And if they don't say, or if I hear the background noise of the, place that they're in with 50 other people calling people, I just immediately, as soon as they don't say anything, I just hang up. That's a hard thing for somebody that, let's put it at 50 plus.
It is. Unfortunately, I think it might just be the generation that are a little more trusting and they don't want to be rude by hanging up on somebody. So they'll stay on the phone. And unfortunately, the longer that they're on the phone, the more convincing the scammer will be. They'll try to convince them that it's in their benefit to give the scammer money. And unfortunately, that's kind of what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, and it can happen via computer. My mother had something happen a few years back where she was on her computer. She went to a site and it said, "Oh, you've got this malicious software that's now been installed in your computer. Call this number." And they called, and then she ended up giving them access to her computer. It was bizarre. And then they got to the point where she was finally like, when they wanted a couple $1,000s, she's like, wait, and literally had to just bury her computer, restart over with a bunch of accounts, and it's a lot of time. For her, it was a lot of time, and then she had to invest in another computer. But it can be even worse, right?
It can, and scam emails, for as long as internet's been around, those have been going on. But, for example, I could open my personal email right now and find probably 20 scam emails. And, how they get you with those is they'll make them look realistic, like a real company. And, they'll embed some sort of virus or malware or something in the attachment or in a link that you have to click. And then once you click that link and you go through the process, then that's how your computer gets infected.
So give us some tips. Give us some ideas of things that should raise red flags and make you stop.
So I think the most simple way is, if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So a lot of things with these scams, they'll offer you something. So they'll offer you a free vacation or some sort of product for really cheap. And in return, they'll ask for you to pay taxes or something like that. And it'll just be like a few $100s. So if it seems too good to be true, then it most likely is. If a company is calling you, you want to definitely verify that is the actual company. We get a lot. I even get them on my phone where somebody will call you from what appears to be a local number, but then in a voicemail, they'll ask you to call some other number.
Yeah.
Those are definitely scams. And you just want to verify every phone call that you get, every email. If you don't recognize the email, don't click on it. Just delete it, report it as spam, whatever you need to do. And then if you have any questions, you can call the police department, you can call your financial institution. And then if you are scammed, the first thing you want to do is contact your your bank, your credit card, whatever you need to do to let them know that you've possibly been scammed. And then you just go from the process from there. Contact your local law enforcement agency, and then we can get the ball rolling on all that.
So in the emails, like you said, opening up an email, there'll be things like, oh, your delivery's been delayed, your Netflix has been canceled, your payment from PayPal we're having a hard time paying you. So I always tell people, like, anytime that you've got to click on a link and it takes you to something that asks you to log in, stop. Go back to the original name of this thing, PayPal. Put in paypal.com, sign in and see if there's anything there. Or go into Netflix. But don't use those links. And they are kind of devious because you said like it's an email you don't recognize. Well, at the top, it'll say PayPal or PayPal info or something like that. But if you click on that and it goes past just the name they put on it, you'll then see like XCZYZ at ggg.com. And it's like, wait, what? So, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, those are pretty common. I get them all the time. I got one yesterday, actually. It was from Amazon saying that my delivery was delayed.
Right. Yep.
But, I knew that I didn't deliver anything in Amazon. And then once you click on the little link to show the actual email, it's,
yeah,
something that's not Amazon.
Yep. And they'll do really convincing websites that look exactly like Amazon sometimes. And you're like, wait, what's that? So it's a horrible thing to have to be cautious all the time, but we should.
It is. And unfortunately, they're getting more advanced in how they scam people. They're using AI and recording people's voices and all sorts of things like that. So you have to be very cautious not to fall victim to this sort of thing.
Can you talk about some of the things that have recently happened that sort of like that are a reason you've come in here? What things have happened to people?
Yeah. So up here, something I've been seeing lately is scammers pretending to be law enforcement. That there's been multiple occasions in different agencies up here where a scammer will call somebody pretending to be an actual officer that works for that department.
Wow.
Saying something like, you have a warrant for your arrest. If you pay the bond, the warrant will go away. And then the way they'll ask for people to pay the bond is either like gift cards or...
Yeah, you think that would raise a red flag, but some people just don't think about it. Or hey, we're from Taylor Police and we need you to send something on Cash App.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think for somebody that's never been in trouble before,
Right.
they might not know the actual process, so they might think that that's the way it actually happens. But unfortunately, if you do have a warrant, an officer's not going to call you on the phone to tell you you have to pay your bond, especially in gift cards.
Yeah.
So, in that case, you want to hang up right away and then call your actual law enforcement agency, and they can tell you if you have a warrant, how to take care of it. Really, the only ways to take care of it are to get arrested or go to court.
Right.
So,
yeah,
that's about it.
Anything else?
Yeah, another one we've been having lately in the town is fraudulent contractors, fraudulent business schemes up here. So like Detective Bunch said, verify everything. We just recently investigated one where they were going around and doing work for people's houses, but they had no ROC. They weren't licensed. They weren't bonded. They weren't insured, anything like that.
Yeah.
And they would just trash people's property and then walk away with the money. And they were doing it to some elderly folks, especially ones that were having dementia or some kind of medical issues, heavy medications, things like that, and just stuffing like a tablet in their face and be like, here, sign here. We work for the town or we work for the county maintenance and sign this, please. And by then the people have signed, they don't even know what they've signed.
Right.
So don't accept things like that. If somebody says they can't do any work without the money up front, big red flag right there.
And you know what? Watch out for your neighbors, because if it's a person with dementia or they're older and you know that they're prey, watch out for them. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah, I'd rather you call us and us go look at him. We'll go out there and see if they're legit or not. I mean, there's no harm in calling the PD. If you ever have any questions, you can always reach us and we'll let you know. And we always want to know when the scams are around. I think we were doing a talk about this yesterday at the church, and one of them was telling us how somebody called them and was trying to get them to put like money in a mailbox in Sholo.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so let us know those things, because then we can reach out to those other agencies, try to track down that stuff and stop these scammers that are in our town.
Very good. Anything else? I mean, there's lots else, but obviously,
yeah. Unfortunately, there's really an infinite amount of scams. Like if you can think of something, there's a scammer out there that's trying to do it.
It's going to do it.
So they all sort of follow a pattern where they're just trying to get your humanity to to give them money. You know, like, for example, with the fires in Maui, there's charity scams that are going around. So they're pretending to be a charity so you can kind of feel bad and give them money, and then they just pocket the money. You know, there's legitimate charities out there, but there's also a lot of scammers that are trying to get people's money that way.
You bet. Awesome.
Well, the best advice we can give people is verify everything. Don't click on anything. If something's telling you or a company's telling you that you have to download something to give them access so they can fix things, it's a scam. Just put a VPN on your stuff. Don't stay on those phone conversations, and then verify everything.
Be a little suspicious. It kind of stinks, but anybody that's in the right, they're going to deal with that, and they're going to be okay with you questioning them to make sure that you're giving them legitimate service.
Yes.
Awesome. Once again, it's Detective Bunch and Officer Haas. Thank you very much. Everybody out there, be good to each other. Have fun. And we'll see you again here from the town of Pinetop-Lakeside.